The potential impact of new tariffs on the Senior Citizens Utility Subsidy Program in Antigua and Barbuda raises important concerns, with US President Donald Trump's decision to impose a 25% tariff on nations purchasing oil and gas from Venezuela. There could be significant consequences for vulnerable populations who rely heavily on government support. Many disabled individuals and pensioners in Antigua and Barbuda depend on the financial assistance provided through programs funded by PDV Caribe. The program dishes out over $1 million every month. The tariffs may disrupt the funding mechanisms of these initiatives, threatening the monthly stipends received by over 7,000 beneficiaries. The government has long reiterated that the Senior Citizens Utility Subsidy Program sustains the livelihoods of its participants by allowing them to pay for essential utilities and access food supplies. Now, if these tariffs adversely affect PDV Caribe's operations, the ripple effect could jeopardize support for those living below the poverty line, including retirees and the physically challenged. Over 700 disabled people in the Twin Island nation depend on these subsidies, says Bernard Warner, the head of the Disabled Association here.
Over 700 persons with disabilities in Antigua and Barbuda who receive that subsidy and who will be affected by the 20% tariff placed on the Caribbean islands who do business with Venezuela. And of course, we are all aware that the Venezuela Petrocaribbean agreement with Antigua and Barbuda is part of the funding avenue for our social programs. And knowing that many of our members depend or rely on the $2.15 per month for gas, some of them depending for the light bill subsidy, and that is cut because our government is unable to do business with Venezuela, will seriously impact this community. And not just the community, but family members, parents of children with disabilities, and adults who are dependent on parents for support. But so it's a real heart-wrenching feeling when I heard that Donald Trump announced this decision.
In the wake of this threat, Warner said disabled people must begin to find ways to fend for themselves.
Weeks ago, I made a post on my Facebook page to ask people with disabilities to recognize their strengths and their abilities, begin to come out of the shadows and embrace entrepreneurship and inclusiveness, take up the space to sell vegetables, to sell coconut, to sell corn, look at what's going on in Antigua and Barbuda and begin to embrace entrepreneurship, sell ice pop, sell peanuts, sell sweetie. Begin to see that community-based inclusive development by taking your rightful space and become an entrepreneur. If wisdom prevails, people with disability will begin to use what little money they have to invest and to start a small business, sell bananas outside their home, do something that can get comfortable in not having a $2.15 per month and make yourself a $500 surplus.
But one is not the only one with these concerns. Several disabled people have the same anxieties.
Persons with disabilities that are in need of voucher is going to really affect us because majority of persons with disability depends on the voucher because they're not employed.
But that is going to affect us a lot now because we're getting support from Venezuela with the Petrocarib because I got my Petrocarib card. I find that it's unfair. And it'll be a hamper upon as people with disability and ageable people, so it's getting Petrocarib and the deduct upon the light.
Persons with disabilities, especially getting medication, getting food items, toiletries, these stuff would be even more harder for them to get because it is hard now.
And just getting this news to them, right, it can cause them the pressure or the sugar to go up because they do worry a lot. And when you're, especially when you're bedridden, you sit down and worry about everything. So when you think about, I'm not going to get that off my light anymore, I'm not going to get this anymore. So it's also a health thing too.
The uncertainty surrounding the situation forces us to reflect on the fragility of support systems that many rely on and the potential need for government intervention to cover any funding gaps. As we engage in discussions about the future of such welfare programs, we must consider not just economic figures, but the human stories behind them. What happens to the individuals who depend on these programs if political circumstances shift? How can we protect these vital safety nets in the face of uncertainty? These questions are not just about policy. They concern the very fabric of society and our collective responsibility to support one another. This has been a production of Antigua.news. This production has been sponsored by Hammer Time Building and Supplies Limited. I am Charmaine Big Charles. Illuminate your space with style and efficiency through our unbeatable selection of outdoor and indoor ceiling lights. Stay cool and comfortable with our range of ceiling fans, perfect for any occasion. Need to tackle those do-it-yourself projects? Our top quality hardware tools have got you covered. Upgrade your bathroom with our stunning vanities that combines elegance and functionality. Beat the heat with our energy-efficient air conditioning units. But that's not all. We sell sand, stones, cement, you name it, we've got it. Wait, fed up with your nosy neighbor? Get your smart fence and keep your business. Well, just that, your business. Don't have enough cash? That's easy. With affordable plans to suit your pocket and your lifestyle, let us take care of your payment plans. Your home, your style, our products. Visit us today at Casada Gardens and find everything you need to make your home a haven.